hold my beer.
A lot of the things that I do report on this channel actually are the facts. I'm Satan, basically. I understand that as a public figure, my job means that I will be criticized, and I am fine with that. Bull crap, okay? I don't care if you talk about me. I don't care if everyone talks about me. No. Talk about me. I talk about people all the time. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like what I do. You can monetize the hell out of me. I don't care. Talk about me. She's a nasty, vile human being that needs to be held accountable.
Hey guys, and welcome to Janet being Janet. Okay, so just so you know, we're gonna go ahead and address these, right? And for those that you don't know, my husband hates any kind of sunglasses with any kind of color, anything that are too big and too small. So I buy every pair of sunglasses he says not to buy, because that's the way I roll. It's the little things that make me laugh and make me happy. And another thing, before I even get started in this, it's storming, so I got dogs on both sides of me, so if you hear that going on, or you see me in different positions, that means I had to get up and take care of them. Anyways, alright, so I'm just, trucking along, doing what I normally do, running outside, running back inside as fast as I can because it's cold. Yeah, and then I see an exclusive Duggar video, right? So I'm looking for the Duggar, okay? And you know who I see? Do you want to know who I see? Amy King. But you know what? Because she's a Duggar, she can't do anything about that name, right? She can't be Amy King. And whenever I looked on, her video, it says Amy King's husband. So now you're officially, how you don't like Mr. Without a Crystal Ball doesn't like Mr. Without a Crystal Ball. Maybe Amy Duggar King doesn't like to be called that. Maybe he likes to be called his name, kind of like Todd does. But all right, we're going to get into this, all right?
Duggar family financial fallout continues.
The Duggar family financial fallout. The Duggar. All right, keep going.
And this story all started back in 2021, if you can believe it, almost 4 years ago when Josh...
Hey, wasn't that when you and Amy were still friends? Weren't you and Amy King still friends at that time? I believe that's before you threw her under the bus.
Duggar was picked up by the feds and a whole investigation happened, and now he's sitting in a timeout facility down in Texas.
Yeah, and you want to go ahead and you want to bring Josh in here because every chance you get to say the name Josh, you're going to daggum say it now, aren't you? And then on top of that, you're not supposed to sit here and say, he's in timeout. Why don't you tell people what Josh really did? Because we know you kind of have an issue with the Josh name, right? Yeah, maybe. Hush, Janet.
For people that do bad things against the federal government and children.
And children. And children. Okay. Shh.
When Josh was arrested, there was a pretty big hit to the Duggar family. And businesses, shows, brands, all these deals, the Duggar...
Do we have to talk about Josh? Do we have to talk about Josh? Everything is Josh's fault. We understand this. So you ain't got to talk about Josh in every Duggar video.
They got upended and canceled. And the only people that have continued to profit off of the Duggar name, for the most part, are the daughters, Ginger and Jill, who have written books.
Are you mad about that? Because you don't like any other authors, do you?
Jill has written 1 book, whereas Ginger has written like 3 and a children's book. So...
Well, you said that with a lot of animosity, didn't you? Yeah.
Ginger released a book last 2 weeks ago. Not good. Wouldn't recommend it. But... there has...
You little heifer. You have so many people on your channel watching you, and you want to act like that and say you don't recommend it. You know what? Maybe some people like the actual Duggars and the Duggar name. they're not just trying to make money off of it. Okay, everything in here is my opinion and my opinion alone, and that's all it's ever going to be. And this is for your entertainment alone. Don't you take nothing I say as fact. It's all my mind work.
Been other fallout that has happened. The Duggar family name and any associated businesses in Arkansas are not necessarily well appreciated.
And I wonder why. It's because of the person you enjoy talking about the most.
And whether or not someone is associated with the Duggars or not, or even talks to them, sometimes even a loose affiliation like being an extended family member.
Oh, go ahead and put it out there. Put it out there, Miss Katie. Put it out there that she's still a Duggar. You know, never mind the fact that she's an actual king married to her husband. Just saying, let's just forget that.
Can hurt your business. Couple that with launching a restaurant or opening a restaurant not long after the pandemic hit and moving the restaurant from one location to another.
Yeah, but weren't you still friends at that time? I do believe y'all were still friends, so you could have talked to Amy about this if this is the way you felt. But continue.
Apparently spelled a financial disaster for Amy Duggar and her husband, Dylan King.
Okay, so look at that. He has a name. It's not Mr. Amy Duggar King. That's not what it is. He has a name.
Dylan's restaurant, Wellington's, which was slated as a fine dining with whiskey and stogies.
So, Janet, hush. No, you don't say a word.
First opened, and it was located in Rogers, located in the same building that Amy's now closed clothing company, 3130, had a boutique.
You know what? That clothing company, didn't you used to boost that company up a lot? Didn't you always say that you were wearing 3130 clothes and you were bragging to anybody that was going to listen to you that Amy was your friend? Is the key word here.
The launch was pretty famously remembered because Jill Duggar and Derek Dillard met up and went to Wellington's and enjoyed cocktails.
Oh my goodness gracious, they drunk a cocktail. Oops, nobody knows about that now, do they?
It was a whole big thing because this was when Jill was kind of letting the world know that she and her husband Derek drank.
Yeah, and you spread it to everybody that you possibly could. Mm-hmm.
Right? Like they actually have alcoholic beverages sometimes.
Oh my goodness gracious. That doesn't sound like anybody else we know, does it?
The restaurant actually had pretty good reviews, and despite the fact that the location wasn't the best, seemed to be chugging along and doing well for the first few years.
Well, you know what? The first few years are the most difficult ones, right? And no, I'm not going to react to all of this just because she bores me, okay? Quite frankly, Miss Katie bores me quite often.
In April of 2024, abruptly, Wellington's announced that they were closed, and they never opened again.
Too bad Miss Katie wasn't there to help Miss Amy through it. No, you don't do that for your friends. She dropped her faster than a hot pancake, didn't she?
Filing by their landlord claimed that the restaurant was behind rent.
I'm going to take this, now I'm going to just cut this up into little bits and pieces because Miss Katie pulled legal records again, because that's what she does. She gets on there, and if there's anything she can get you with, she's going to get it. Any kind of information, she's going to get it. She ain't going to help you and, say this is, what you should have done or anything beforehand. It's comments after the hand. After she gets her post, after she gets her video, after she gets her chang, then she may talk to you. Before that, yeah, good luck.
Filing was made against the restaurant Winston Holdings, Wellington's, and Dylan King, Corey Gayer, and Flint Boyce. The landlord at the time alleged.
If y'all want to hear all this stuff about her going over the legal papers and, the lawsuit and bankruptcy and all that stuff that she's talking about, if y'all want to go and hear that, you can go over to her channel. Me, I just don't want to listen to all that stuff, so I just do and make a video. Yeah, that's me.
They owed a balance of $82,631.50, failed to pay rent for January, February, and March.
Guys, imagine being friends with somebody and you have them on your channel and you get inside scoops on a family and everything. And imagine somebody boosting you up like that because, you know, she got subscribers off of Amy and, you know, doing one-on-one conversations and live streams and things like that. Just imagine you having that kind of relationship, friendship, or whatever it is. Just imagine that. And then a couple of years later, they're going on their channel and sending it to everybody and they can possibly send it out to, you know, because she's got almost 400,000 subscribers. You know, she wants that many. But she's going on her channel and she's like, see, this, and this. She's digging in their pocketbooks and she don't need to. She needs to leave her former friend alone. But this just shows you don't get anything whenever you're friends with Miss Katie, because she's going to do everything she can to make you a story.
Landlord was suing them for breach of contract, unlawful detainer.
I'm just including on there the legal paperwork that she's talking about, so you ain't got to hear her voice. You can read it if you want to. No, figured I'd help.
They were evicted, basically, for not following up and paying up on the lease in this case, which was over $82,000.
Yeah, cha-ching, cha-ching. All right, I'm going to tell you how much they owe and how much money should be coming out of their pockets. You need to stay out of people's pockets, Miss Katie.
2 of his business partners filing for bankruptcy.
I bet you they didn't know they were going to be on your channel, now did they? I bet you they didn't think, ooh, okay, so if we file bankruptcy with a Duggar's husband, not the actual Duggar, the one that, you know, she married because she has a different last name, but, you know, shush it, Janet.
They had no money to give.
If y'all care about what I'm doing while she's talking, I'm painting my nails. Yeah, that's how interesting she is. Oh well. She's actually saying Dylan's name, so you know what? She made a step up.
Woof. That's a big judgment.
Poof. Yeah, you know why she said that. You know, she wasn't trying to give any kind of business advice or anything to Miss Amy back then, now was she?
Another judgment being filed against him in January.
Why does it sound like she's kind of happy? Huh? Why does it sound like she's kind of happy? She don't need to be happy for stuff like that. She all got it messed up whenever it comes to emotions and feelings.
Mr. King, Dylan asked for it to be withdrawn.
Mr. King, Dylan. At least we got off of Amy's husband, right?
Order has been made and consent.
If y'all notice, it says Dylan King. It doesn't say Amy Duggar King. Just pointing that out.
Unfortunately, 2 of his business partners have now declared bankruptcy.
Okay, if that's only one of the legal problems, why does she... Go down there in the comments. Does she not sound happy to be reporting this? Yeah, I do this a lot because I just quote what she says and what she calls herself, okay?
A separate lawsuit. So the 2 partners declared bankruptcy, and Dylan, instead of declaring bankruptcy, I guess has decided to take the hit here. They are now going to have to depose, have them hand over all of their documents, and it is going to be messy.
You know what, Miss Thing? You're messy. You're being messy as ever right now, and you're only doing this because you want to get a little bump against Miss Amy. That's what you're doing.
Information about the finances of his life. Basically, it's pretty wild.
Okay, I'm including just that little bit because you can hear her. You can hear it. You can hear her. This is funny. I don't think this is funny. Does she think her lawsuits are funny? Oh, no, ma'am. She likes to get on Instagram and try to, derail everything. She gets to get in her chats and she derails everything because she doesn't want to have to think about what's going on in her own life. She just wants to be critical of what's going on in somebody else's life, especially whenever it comes to a downfall. Anything negative in somebody's life, Miss Katie's happy, especially if it's somebody that she used to be friends with.
Operating agreements by in-laws, other such corporate documents for all entities.
In-laws. I can tell you, like I said, she's a smug little villain, ain't she? She's just talking about when the grandmother passed away, Mary Duggar, she passed away, things were transferred down to Miss Amy on a couple of properties. And Miss Amy and... I say Miss Katie too much, okay? But Amy and Dylan put that up and put those properties up for collateral, even though they were paid off, and Miss Katie don't like that. The mortgage out is about $735,000 on those properties, just so you know. And it's not collateral, I guess. So you just put it up as, you get a mortgage out on it. Yeah, she's all over the place. She's just too happy right now. The LLC in Dylan's name was revoked by the state of Arkansas. And there's back taxes on them. Yep. This is a total exclusive, guys. Reading legal paperwork, legal forms, and lawsuits that's exclusive information.
And those properties now are at risk because Dylan has a judgment out against him, which was filed in Washington County for $9,000.
If you're gonna say the amount. Yeah, I'll put that in there, okay? But if you're going to say the amount, know the amount, okay? Especially if it's you're trying to out somebody.
What could have happened was when Mary died, they got these properties, maybe mortgaged these properties to help bankroll potentially their restaurant. I'm not sure. Restaurants have a high rate of failure.
Restaurants do have a high rate of failure. Yes, I'm piecing all this together just because I don't have to listen to or read the paperwork when I can read it myself.
It is one of the riskiest businesses you can go into. Couple that with they opened during the pandemic, which was a...
Did you give Amy any kind of advice whatsoever at all since you're such a savvy business person? Y'all know these words get tied in my mouth. But did you give her any kind of advice whatsoever at all? Probably not.
Risky time to open any business, and they had not enough, you weren't going to get a lot of patronage at that time. The restaurant ends up failing due to not being able to pay rent. Generally, not being able to pay rent means you don't have the capital coming in.
Lady, you're talking about them not having money coming into them. And you're talking about their restaurant closing. Some people wouldn't be so happy about this. Some people would say, "Oh, I feel for Amy and Dylan." Yeah, the C word was really hard on a lot of businesses. Yes, a lot of places went out of business during the C word. And unfortunately, that's what happened. Businesses closed. People's lifestyle completely changed. Oh, no. Miss Katie cannot consider feelings like that. No. It has to be, I'm going to out every single thing you can about Dylan and Amy, and I'm going to be happy about it because I think she's being smug right now, okay?
Such an unfortunate part of the restaurant industry.
It's any industry. Any industry. Don't be going just on this family. Just don't. Don't.
So they're at risk of losing a lot here. A ton. When everything went down with Josh is the problem. Josh is always going to be the problem. And as long as you can say that name, you're going to continue to do any kind of video you can to have Josh's name in your video. Dylan and Amy had told me that, I don't know, it was a couple years ago.
Right there tells you she used to be friends with them, okay? Right there, she's saying that she used to talk, or not be friends. It's not saying she was friends, but, she talked to them. So she knew this information. Tells you a lot about Miss Katie as a person, doesn't it?
There was backlash within the community related to the Duggar name. Businesses were taking a hit.
Once again, businesses taking a hit. It's not only restaurants, goober.
Even though they didn't associate with the Duggars, they had a lot of the stuff was open when they still had a show and they still had the Duggar fame.
Oh, so all Miss Amy had going on with her was the Duggar fame? Mm-hmm. That's all she had going on with her? And you think the show not continuing and, all the issues with the show, you think that affected Amy? Is that what you're trying to say? Okay.
Then the Duggar fame collapses. Then you add a pandemic in it, and it just creates a catastrophe.
It's a catastrophe all the way around, Missy, ma'am.
I really hope they find a way to get out of this.
No, you don't. You sound way too giddy, and you are actually posting this video. So don't you try to lie to anybody.
And they're able to, pay off their debts or declare bankruptcy.
That's what you've been saying. You want them to declare bankruptcy. That's a really nice way to go. Mm-hmm. Don't offer them any advice when they're your friends. Just talk crap about them when you're not.
It's sad to know that the property they inherited, though, now is at risk of being potentially forfeited.
Go ahead. Tell them how they're wrong, Miss Katie. Tell them how they're wrong and tell them how you don't agree with them. Because that's what you're doing.
It's a mess. I guess the biggest question is why they didn't file for bankruptcy.
That's what she keeps saying is bankruptcy. It's just the suggestion that she has is bankruptcy. I cannot believe she was friends with Amy. I honestly, while this was going on, or before this was going on, when the conversations were being had, because if I'm not mistaken, y'all, correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Katie used to promote her 3130, like I said, her jeans or whatever. She used to say about how comfortable they were and everything else. Now then, she's talking about how it was wrong to open these businesses. It was wrong to do this. It was wrong to do that. Isn't it amazing, amazing how a couple of years of her not being chummy with Amy, this is what you get.
Or why he didn't file for bankruptcy. Maybe it is because he has these other holdings and these other businesses that he didn't want to have to lose. I'm not sure.
If you're not sure, quit talking about it. Just saying, if you're not sure, don't talk about it. Don't make speculations.
Bankruptcy could have absolved at least some of these issues, and now this is sort of the after effect.
Would you give yourself advice of bankruptcy? Would you? I mean, I'm just asking all the way around. If, Miss Katie, if you were in their situation, would you give yourself the option of bankruptcy and pretty much that alone? Because it sounds like that's what you're trying to give them.
It's sad because I think I like Dylan and Amy. They're good people.
You like Dylan and Amy and they're good people? Why'd you throw her under the bus?
They've always been super nice to me, but that's a lot of money they owe. It's more from the Duggar collapse.
From the Duggars. It's more of the Duggars. It's because Amy is a Duggar. It's always going to be a Duggar problem. It ain't going to be anybody else's problem. It's a Duggar problem.
So what are your thoughts?
Okay, so let me explain myself. All right, for those that haven't already clicked off, thank you for not clicking off and giving me an opportunity to speak at the end. Let me explain myself. Okay, so I was around when this whole thing of Miss Katie and Amy got on her Instagram Live and was mocking someone. Miss Katie decided that what she was going to do is Miss Amy found out about somebody else through Miss Katie. So when they said, or Katie said that somebody was talking bad about Amy, Amy then went and did an Instagram Live about that person, mocking that person. Well, then what ended up happening is as soon as without a crystal ball could say, oh, nope, nope, I don't want nothing to do with this. Oh, no, it's not part of me, because there was so much backlash with it. So much. Miss Katie dropped her faster than ever. Okay? And now then, after these years, she wants to go back to 2021 and she wants to say how nice Amy was to her. And okay, after that little fallout, after Amy did that, were y'all still friends? Were you? Were you still there for her? Was she still nice to you? Or did you drop her? I'm gonna list that thing below, or that video below, wherever I told you no. But yeah, that's what bothered me about all this, because I cannot believe, I can believe, because it's Miss KT, I can believe, what am I saying? I personally could not do what she's doing. I could not take somebody, if I was their friend, not the friend, if I knew them, if I was personal with them, I would not take it and out them when you can actually say, hey, I knew her at this time. I was friends with her at this time. She come on my live at this time. Why would you go against somebody like that and just knock them down? That's what it is. Alright, so normally I laugh during my videos, but like I said, right now I got dogs over here and I'm getting onto this one like crazy because she's freaking out. So I have got to go and take care of my puppies. And they're not puppies, but you know, kind of like my kids. They're always going to be about puppies and they're always going to be my kids, okay? So I want y'all to have a good day, night, weekend, holiday, year. And remember to smile today. Or make somebody else smile, because it really can make a difference. And y'all get down there in that comment section and tell me if you remember all that I was talking about. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go down there and do that. Yeah. Because I'm going to take these off and I'm going to go sit with my doggy. Alrighty, guys.